Black and sexy, baby.
I feel 100 on this. This not even a theory. A lot of my homies that is in the hood doing their thing, hustling, whatever they got to do. A lot of them specifically aim to have a white girl on their side because they feel like they're more down to do whatever dirt they got going on. Dang. Like I could send them to wherever with this, or they can take this money here. And I see, but for real, I see, but it's certain situations. So if I see a dude that look like he owns some certain type stuff, and he got a white girl with him, I'm gonna be like, I know why he got her with him. You know what I mean?
When I came to LA, I used to think there was a certain level of black actresses that naturally only dated white men.
Right.
Most of them, when you would have that conversation with them as to why or how, few of them, maybe they met them a long time ago, that's just history, they just happened to meet them. But a lot of them said, being in LA, they weren't really getting the time of day from black men. And that's what made them then say, I'm gonna date a white man. Not like, oh, well, he's this, that, and the other, but the desperation was more out of like, I'm just trying to have a relationship.
That goes back to what both me and Ramel were talking about. Something in the past that we've heard black women say, and that's one of the things that I've heard. Oh, black men don't pay, especially from women that move from a different city here. Yeah. Like a city that has like maybe a larger population of black folks or a less population of other folks from it's not a lot of Asians or Latinos there. It's just black and white. And then they move here. Every time, if I know them, a girl, she'd be like, I've been here, it's been cool, but you know what I've seen? Black dudes don't say nothing to me. They don't say anything.
And I think I've experienced that being in LA and as a black woman, definitely going somewhere, a party or whatever the case may be, and it's like
it's hard for you to get in the club.
Yeah, or it's like you know, you have to have like certain hair types, certain bodies, certain complexion. Like there's now a list of things, and if you're not comfortable with yourself as a black woman, you truly can feel like, okay, well, I'm not good enough, or I got to try and fit into this box, and so. Dating outside of your race now becomes of like, well, I ain't trying to be lonely in these streets.
But isn't also culture, right? So I've also heard the difference. I've heard beautiful black women like yourself will be like, I went to Atlanta. I can only speak on Atlanta because that's the crib. And they like, I didn't get off the plane good before a dude was already at my neck. Like, hey, what's up, sweetie? And I'm saying some of that stuff I think in the South is a culture aspect.
Yeah.
It's a thing, like we are predators. Now, I'm not saying we the best dudes in the world, but we like, hey, I'm about to get at you. We're gonna take on this date. I know you're only here for the weekend, baby. Give me a chance. I can do whatever I need. To where I'm seeing from my friends who out here, they way more like, well, she can come over here to me. Like I'm just like she can go. And I've seen black women be like, well, I'm not about to walk over to him. He needs to do this. So now there's a standoff, and while it's a standoff, it'd be a white girl just slide in the middle, like, well, I'll dance with you. And at that point,
that's a culture of a city.
That's a culture of a city.
And that's what I was about to say. Right. It's not necessarily about race. It's the culture of this city.
That's right.
And that's how it gets. I've noticed it moving to Atlanta. The reverse thing. Literally had a powwow with all the homies from LA one night. Didn't even plan it. Cats was just chilling, talking, and one dude said out of nowhere, "Hey, is anybody here having a problem getting any girls?" And everybody was like, damn, I thought nobody would ever talk about it. It's because we're not aggressive. We're not aggressive, we don't talk, and we don't go out there and oh, can I buy you a drink? Can I do this or whatever and whatnot? We don't do all that chivalrous type stuff because we weren't raised like that. Not to say that it's right, it's just how the city kind of works in a general way. When I moved to the South, dudes from not just the South, Midwest, from the East Coast, them dudes is on it. They calling them girls, they own it, they talking to them all the time. And you know, LA dudes is way too laid back because they feel like there's so many pretty women here that they feel like there's another one of you coming around the corner in 2 seconds. And it's not the way to think, but that's how it goes.
In Toronto, where I'm from, it's a very similar thought process. It's like there's a lot of really attractive women there.
Yes, there are.
So the men just don't. They're not aggressive. They just don't care. And the women are kind of the same. The women are kind of like, I'm attractive. I can get whoever I want. I don't need to even talk to any of these dudes in here.
Right.
So, and that's unfortunately a culture of the city. Black, white, doesn't matter what you are.
Yeah.
Piggyback off what you said, I think that's interesting because I don't know if this is like a young thing or whatever, but sometimes on the flip side of that, if we show so much interest and be aggressive like that, it's also looked at as weak sometimes. Like, oh, this nigga thirsty, like he own me too much. I've experienced that myself, and a lot of the cats I hang with too. Like, so sometimes the laid back approach it works better for us because there's no sense of like trying there, or like we don't have to get denied in a sense. We could just pick and choose which ones we want to go after.
I've built a good, I think, medium because I've lived in other places. I've lived in Atlanta and I've seen how cats get down. I've lived on the East Coast and I've seen how cats get down. Even outside of Los Angeles, you go to the Bay Area and there's cats, you know, way aggressive, like on some extra aggressive stuff. But either way, I found that middle ground where it's like, I think that is where the chivalry lies.
Well, one thing I think we've scared any woman in Black and Sexy land who wanted to move to LA. Like, man, I'm not going to goddamn LA.
No, well, I just think in what we're talking about, like the amount of chivalry and how to approach and all that kind of stuff, any black woman I do know that has dated outside of their race, it was something like that. It wasn't, it was just, oh, well, we were at this bar and he approached me and okay, he took me on a cool date, that's why I'm going with him. Right. But it does, I guess it's from person to person because, you know, the thing that I've learned is when it comes to the dating world, just don't have judgment. Just kind of go with it. Just whatever the case may be. You just experience what it is that you're going to experience. Same way you dated an Asian and you felt like you were shoplifting. I mean, you said that's not for me. Is dating an Asian.
World, man. It's like
what
my
they used
generation.
to say, if she can't use my comb.
Black and sexy, baby.